Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Elias, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'll be talking about all the books I want to read for the month of March. So is it just me, or did February just come and go just like that? Like, I believe it was during this time last year where everything in the world basically fell apart. Learning firsthand about COVID and its repercussions and everything like that, and staying home, lockdowns, and here we are a year later, still stuck in sort of that spectrum, that aspect of things. But reading-wise, so far, February has been a great month. It's probably my most productive reading month, even though we've only had 2 months in the year. But I feel like I got a lot of reading done. Some good books, which I'll be talking about in a recent reads video, so keep a lookout for that one. So I'm currently editing the moving vlog, which I asked if anyone was interested in seeing because it's a chaotic mess for sure. And so many of you guys responded with a strong yes, so that'll be up soon, so keep a lookout for that one as well. So before we get started into the books, I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Native. So I watched Riley Marie's video. She's another booktuber. She's great, you guys check her out. But she also worked with Native, and she featured them on her channel, and I was really interested because I use so many brands of deodorants, and I have very sensitive skin. When I first heard about Native, I was like really interested, and then they contacted me and reached out, and I was like, the Lord has answered my prayers. Here we are today. So Native reached out to me and asked what kind of flavors, what scents I would like, and I chose 3 of them. I have 3 different flavors. Scents! I keep saying flavors as if you can actually eat them. You can't. I was sent 3 deodorant sticks. I've been using them for a couple of weeks just to test the product out and how they worked on my own skin. And what I noticed using them for the past couple of weeks, what differentiates them from other deodorants that I've used is that they're a lot lighter and quicker to dry than most deodorants. So a couple great things about the Native deodorant is that it's aluminum-free, paraben and sulfate-free, as well as vegan and cruelty-free, which is a huge plus. So I use so many brands like I mentioned before, and they're always a little heavier, a little sticky, slimy at times, you know, and they give me like a rash. As someone with sensitive skin, I was a little hesitant and a little worried, but suffice to say, honestly, these are probably the best deodorants I've ever used in my life so far. So I used all 3, but my favorite one is probably the eucalyptus and mint because it smells so refreshing and so nice. Every morning I just put it on and I'm like, I'm ready to start my day. But it smells great, it makes me feel great, so 10 out of 10 would recommend. So Native recently teamed up with an LA lifestyle brand called Jungalow, and these 2 deodorants are in their limited edition special collection. So I got Tangerine and Citrus Blossom, which I thought would be perfect for the upcoming spring and summer weather, and the other one is Sandalwood and Fig. I was always really curious about the scent Sandalwood because I feel like a lot of boys and men are described as having this scent in books. And you know, I'm always like, when I'm thinking of sandalwood, I think of actual sandals made out of wood. I think of really hip, aesthetic Birkenstocks, you know, those like shoes. I don't know why, but sandalwood is always described as sexy and really appealing. So I was like, why not? And I tried it out, and honestly, I can definitely see why. So if you guys are interested, I will leave a link to their website down below because they have a wide variety of choices ranging from deodorants to also toothpaste and also body wash as well, which they also kindly sent over to me. And the body wash, guess what the scent is? Sandalwood. I'm gonna smell like a hot white boy now, so watch out for that. Another great thing is that Native ships free to the US as well as other countries. So I will leave a link to everything down below, and if you guys are interested, you guys can use my code, which is my name, Elias, at the checkout. And normally buying 3 deodorants would normally cost $36, but if you use my code, you can get them for only $24, which is 33% off. Additionally, if you guys are interested in body wash or toothpaste, good hygiene, we'd love to see it, you guys can get these items for 20% off. So again, check out the link down in the description box below and feel free to use my code. And with that being said, thank you to Native for sponsoring today's video, and let's get straight into the books. Alright, so I have quite the TBR this month because I feel like since February, you know, which had only 28 days, I was super ambitious. I feel like I can also be super productive for the month of March. But we'll see. In hindsight, I don't even know if I can actually match what I read in February, but we'll see. Who knows? So the first book on my TBR is The Power by Naomi Alderman. Actually, coincidentally, this is the book pick for the Late Night Book Club. We'll be reading this for the month of March, and the last show will be on Noelle's channel. This will be our first sci-fi pick, and I'm really interested to see where this goes because I've heard a lot of great things about it. I heard that this book sort of explores gender equality as well as womanhood, and it's mainly about women in an alternate reality where they receive these powers, these electrical jolts that they can fling out from their hands or their minds, and they're supposedly the only gender that can wield this power, and in doing so they become the dominant gender. And I'm really curious to see how to handle and juggle different genders as well, because what about people who don't identify as either gender, male or female? So I'm curious to see how that'll play into this book. So in the next coming months, you'll see the book club reading more older titles like The Shadow of the Wind and also House in the Cerulean Sea, which is my favorite. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm really excited for those upcoming titles. So the next book I want to read for the month of March is The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. So this book has actually been on my TBR since forever ago, since last year. You know, I haven't read a good horror thriller book in a while. Actually, that's a lie, because I did read The Shining and I really enjoyed that. However, not to the extent that I would have liked. I did have some problems with that book, mainly the way it depicted race, women, and people of color. But I'm hoping that this book will do it for me in terms of scares, horror, and thrills. So this mainly follows a young woman and her dog, who were asked to go to her grandfather's house in the cabin in the middle of the woods to go and clean it out for whatever reason. And there she finds her grandfather's journal. But in this journal, he talks about these strange, dangerous creatures lurking in the middle of the night. She doesn't really believe him until she encounters one herself. So it's up to her and the dog, which I'm hoping the dog will not die, because if the dog dies, that's it. So it's up to her and her companion to survive the night and live to tell the tale. So I'm pretty excited because I can't remember the last time I read a horror creature related book. I did start a little bit on The Troop by Nick Cutter, but I just haven't picked it up and finished it yet. So we'll see. The next book on my TBR, She's Thick by Sarah J. Maas. A Court of Silver Flames. This is the fourth book in the ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses universe, and this one follows a different sister. Like I said before, nothing too much to say. I might buddy read this with Cindy, which is pretty exciting because knowing how she stands on this whole series overall is really interesting. So I'm really excited to see her overall thoughts on this whole series, or this book in general. She's really thick and really big. I believe she's like around 750 pages. Oh boy. So I don't know about this. I do have good high hopes because a lot of people have liked it so far. So we'll see. All right, so this last book that I want to read, I don't actually know if I'll be able to get to it, but I just got it from the library over on Libby, and I downloaded the audiobook for it. And this book is Jade City by Fonda Lee. I've heard exceptional things about this fantasy. It's about these two rival mafia groups and their ability to wield certain powers through pieces of jade that they wear. So I think that's a really cool, interesting concept. However, this book is also long as well. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to get through this, and also as well as my priority reads I want to read this month. Again, we'll see. This is a tentative TBR, if you will. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. All the books I want to read for this particular month. Nothing too ambitious. I feel like for the months of April and May are the months where I'll be honing down on certain books I really want to read, because I do have some goals in mind and I want a dedicated month, I don't know, sometime this year, where I'll only be reading standalone books. But I want to read from specific genres, say fantasy, because I feel like a good standalone fantasy is hard to come by. Like for an example, thrillers, they're super easy to read because each book basically contains its own mystery. Literary fiction don't really have series. I feel like the only genre to really go into standalone is probably fantasy. So let me know down in the comments below any recommendations for standalone fantasies that you might like. Some of the books I really liked are House in the Cerulean Sea, which has like a speculative fantasy element to it. A Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, which has sort of a House Moving Castle vibe, which I really loved. So something along those lines, I don't know, let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys all soon with a new video. This will be our first sort of sci-fi. Oh my god, I can't even speak. I heard that this book sort of explores gender equality. Oh my god, what am I saying? The next book. Alright, so the next book on my TBR, She's Thick.